Welcome to Talk About It Tuesdays with Yolanda J. Brown. For the past week, like many of you probably, I have been on an emotional roller coaster, and I felt compelled to talk about what does it mean to lead by example. Does anyone remember the commercial, I'm dating myself, that Charles Barkley did many years ago where he declared, "I am not a role model"? We lead by example whether we mean to or not. Thanks to the old saying, actions speak louder than words. How do we know what sort of example we're setting? Emotional intelligence includes self-awareness, such as being aware of what impact we're having on others. This is virtually impossible to fully do because everyone can take something different from our actions, right? And so, how do we gain insight as to how we're doing? First of all, we have to take inventory of our desire to be an example to those around us. And then secondly, take inventory of what traits we want to convey to others. So is it that we want to be an example of integrity, being authentic, being trustworthy, being able to work well with others? Do we want to have an example, be an example of resilience? So it doesn't matter whether we have a desire to set an example, but we can certainly be intentional about the type of example we hope to set. And you don't have to be in a leadership position. You don't have to have a big vision in order to be an example, because if you're a parent, your child is looking more at what you're doing than what you're saying. They are looking to emulate and be what they see. And so we as parents are in control of what they see. And so I want to encourage you to, number one, think about who is it that you yourself admire. What are some of those traits that you want to emulate? And be honest, take an honest inventory of the example that you've set or that you're setting. And when I think about, I was just so troubled, and have been by some of the things that I've seen, because it's bad enough having the pressure of setting an example in everyday life because someone's always watching. So that's whether it's in the home, in the workplace, but there are individuals that are in positions of power that I often wonder, and it makes me sad for the youth or anyone looking up to them, because they're not setting a good example and don't seem to be taking that responsibility seriously. And it just hurts my heart, when I see these things happening, because youth need someone to look up to, and even, for the young listeners that may be on, think about the example that you're setting for your friends. Think about if you have individuals in your life that you call friends that aren't setting good examples, aren't doing positive things. I always advise young people, if you're going to do something that's first going to embarrass yourself, embarrass your family, embarrass your church leaders, your school leaders, whatever the case might be, think about it. just think about it first. There are consequences to decisions. There are consequences to not demonstrating character. Hashtag character matters in all things. And it's not, and I'm not coming from a judgment perspective, because we all fall short. Some of us have, everyone has bad days. If you didn't have a bad day or didn't fall short sometimes, you're not human. But the one thing is, occasional bad days, occasional moments of falling short, those are okay, because if you're displaying positive traits the majority of the time, people will discount them because they know what you're like 80% of the time. I hope that makes sense. And so just think about this and make a decision to broaden your ideas about the way that you carry yourself, the example that you're setting. And, it takes humility. It's a matter of being the best you can be the majority of the time. And see how that shifts your mindset about being a role model or an example, even if you may not feel right now that you are. All right. Hope this resonates with someone. Have a great week until next Tuesday. Bye.